Hi, my name is Melissa. I'm in my 4th year of Chemical Engineering and Society.
My name is Ben. I'm in 2nd year computer engineering at Mac.
My name is Ruthwik, and I'm in computer engineering 2nd year at McMaster University.
Hey, I'm Brendan Fallon, and I'm in my 5th year engineering physics and society.
I'm Liam Smolinars. I'm in my 2nd year of computer engineering at McMaster.
I'm Justin. I'm a 3rd year BTech student, currently on co-op.
My name's Alexander, or Zan for short, and I'm in 3rd year engineering physics here at McMaster.
Okay, hi, my name is Tommy Shuda. I'm in my 4th year of civil engineering and society.
And my name is Keith Anderson, and I'm in my 5th year of the automation engineering technology program.
What's up, guys? My name's Uday. I'm a 2nd year computer engineering student at McMaster University.
So engineering, I see, is a cool way to look at the world. It's a different lens that lets you see the subcomponents that make up the harder, more complex things. In reality, it's really hard to build something that works really well. So engineering is looking at those smaller subcomponents so it can build up and make that really great, bigger component.
So engineering really, what it means to me is the ability to solve problems with technical skills.
So what engineering means to me is that through my education, I have learned and I have been equipped with the tools to solve any problem that faces me. Whether it be a problem in industry or something that impacts you, such as environmental issues. Through your education and the stuff you've done throughout the school and side projects and whatnot, you have been taught and you have learned on how you can make a difference in those problems.
So for what engineering means to me, means serving a purpose for either different types of people or different types of processes. It's designing or creating something that has an impact that makes something easier, better, or more improved than before.
Well, I'm interested in engineering because I'll find something in my life where I see a need for a new piece of technology or a piece of software or something. And rather than waiting for some other company to design that, I'll just make it myself. And it's great to learn the skills to be able to do that effectively.
I definitely think I've always thought about doing engineering throughout my life, but my grade 11 physics teacher was actually the one that convinced me that I would enjoy engineering more than business, because those were the two that I was kind of debating between. And he kind of showed how through engineering you can be creative in what you design and what you're actually thinking about. So that's why I chose that over business.
The reason I chose engineering was just a general ability to make cool things, find out how they work, whether it's the mechanisms or the processes that explain it. I thought that was always really interesting, kind of like little puzzles.
So when I was in my 1st year, I entered into engineering not only because of all the different opportunities I saw, but just as the difficult and really fun way to build things that you really want to do. If you're an explorer or an innovator, you probably have some sort of key into engineering. So I really saw that as an opportunity to help improve the world.
So I'm part of a McMaster's Eco Car, and I got to go to Texas last week because every year there were a few workshops held by one of the competition sponsors. And so this year it was at NXP's branch in Texas. And so got to go there, got to learn from some smart guys from Intel and some other companies, and they taught us how to work with car stuff.
Yeah, so actually a few weeks ago I went to Queen's Space Conference in Kingston, and it was really interesting because they had speakers from all different areas of the space industry. Like we had a speaker from NASA, a speaker from MBA, and it was really inspiring to hear them talk about their different experiences and their projects. The cool thing we got to do was a case competition where the main problem was space debris. So because of humans going to space and the International Space Station, we leave a lot of little pieces of debris from all our missions, and they become a big issue for future missions because they're orbiting the Earth at maybe 8 or 9 kilometers per second. So even something the size of a grain of rice can do catastrophic damage to a satellite. So a big problem for any future space travel needs to include removing the space debris and minimizing it happening in the future. So our kind of solution was to mount a military-grade laser on the bottom of the International Space Station to augment its solar power to deal with the extra 33 kilowatts. And then essentially that laser would ablate a little bit of those grains so they would evaporate, and that evaporating material would counter the momentum of the orbiting debris, and that would cause it to decelerate, its orbit would decay, and it would burn up into the Earth's atmosphere. So that was essentially the case competition that we got to do.
I guess a unique experience that both of us have had was that we were both the co-chairs for the 2019 Ontario Engineering Competition. It's a competition that happens every single year at different universities, meaning it will only take place at McMaster every 6 to 7 years. So it's kind of a unique experience to be the ones in kind of our generation to be able to host it here at McMaster, and it was quite a big success actually. So.
Yeah, and especially because it's such a great opportunity to bring together really inspired and motivated students from across the province, and the fact that we got to organize that was pretty exciting and pretty rewarding.
This year I joined the McMaster IEEE student branch, and the student branch holds many events throughout the year, one of which is the Raspberry Pi workshop. I got to volunteer at this workshop, which was a great experience to share knowledge and practice presentation skills.
So one of my favorite Mac experiences was actually first year with the red suits, who are the coordinators and all the Eng representatives here. So the red suits toured along campus with all the first years yelling Mac Eng chants and just having a great time. So it's a great just bonding experience.
I'd say my favorite Mac experience was definitely my second year when I was a part of the Trotsky bridge building competition, which is held in Montreal. I went straight from there with a bunch of team members straight to Portland, Oregon for the seismic design competition. So that was definitely a great experience in the second year.
So I'm actually co-founder of McMaster Hyperloop team, which is basically a pod. It's for transportation essentially, right? It's basically a pod that travels really fast in a vacuum, right? Hypothetically, its traveling speed is around 1,200 kilometers per hour. So if you put it in context, here, or Toronto to Montreal is about 30 minutes travel. Just imagine how fast it goes. So we're competing in Texas, and it's a SpaceX competition. So it's quite a big competition, actually.
An interesting thing that I kind of learned here at McMaster is that there's more than one ways to solve a problem, and this was shown to me through the society program especially. You have to take a step back and actually look at different people's perspectives and different ways that a solution can be found, and also different ways that a solution can be implemented. So that's definitely something that I've learned and appreciated, and will definitely take into my life as I move forward into the professional world.
So actually pretty recently I'm taking a course on general relativity, and I learned that if you're actually observing somebody who's falling into a black hole, you'll never actually see them go in. It'll take an infinite amount of time for you to observe them falling in. So while the person who's falling in will think that they've actually fallen into the black hole, it's impossible to observe somebody going into a black hole.
In first year, we had a Python class. And so this is just like a typical programming class where you learn the basic syntax, but this set me up for a lot of summer courses I did myself in computer vision and some other things. So once I got the fundamentals, it was really easy to proceed into the direction I liked.
Guess if I've learned anything specifically just about school and being a student, having been here for almost 5 full years, is that you can pretty much do anything you want to as long as you put in the effort and you have the consistency and motivation to get things done every day. I think that's the biggest thing I've probably taken away in my experience.
Interesting thing I've learned is problem solving practically versus learning something in theory. When you actually apply it to something hands-on, that's a whole different ball game.
Interesting thing I've learned. I think the most interesting thing I've learned would be this year in DI4. Like, I was just mind blown by the amount of hardware knowledge there is to learn, right?
It's really hard to say what I would like as my dream job, but rather what I would want from my dream job. It's always important to have a work-life balance, enjoy what you do, as well as contribute to the environment. That's at least my perspective on it.
Dream job? Ooh, that would probably be, if I could combine aerospace engineering and nuclear technology, ideally building a nuclear-powered rocket or maybe powering a Martian outpost, that would be amazing.
My dream job would definitely be working on building sciences as a building engineer to understand and try and implement ways that we can improve the building envelope and improve the energy efficiency that a building has to overall lessen the impact we have on our environment.
Dream job? Yes, actually, I'd love to work for a space industry, right? Like SpaceX, NASA, or just CSA, right? Space is what I really want to do.
I think my dream job was something where it's demanding, but you still get a lot out of it. Not only learning for yourself, but helping the company or maybe the world do something in a really impactful way. So anything that's helping like the world in terms of space colonization, in terms of robotics and AI, or even just something in sustainability.
So a few weeks ago at McMaster's annual hackathon, which is Delta Hacks, I teamed up with a few people I met in the McMaster IEEE, and we made what I like to call an art robot. And so basically you have a whiteboard, but this isn't just any whiteboard, it's an automated whiteboard, meaning you put in a picture of a Pikachu through an SD card, and then this whiteboard will figure out how to draw it. And that's just a few motors controlling a pen, and an algorithm that figures out how to draw any image, and then whoop-bam, you get a Pikachu.
Recently, I attended my first hackathon, and a hackathon is basically an event where you work as a team to create a creative project. This hackathon was a great opportunity to work on a project as a team, because usually in classes you're working with either a partner or by yourself. And so we had to learn how to effectively share the roles between my partners and I.
So a project that I'm working on right now is for one of my chemical engineering courses. I'm with a team of 3 other students, and what we're working on is creating a model of a chemical plant. So we're looking at a styrene production plant, and pretty much what we're doing is we're using Aspen Plus, which is a software that can simulate these types of chemical plants, to figure out what the unit operations we will need, and what the streams are, and what types of chemicals we need. You know, if we're going to need natural gas, and how much natural gas we'll need for the furnace, those types of things, and then how much product we'll get out of the chemical plant as well. And then really from that model, the next steps are you can do like a life cycle assessment, and outside the scope of our project is also looking at the controls for the project and the instrumentation as well.
So for the projects I've been working on, last year I attended Delta Hacks and worked with some AR stuff, machine vision, some image recognition, image processing stuff. The gist of the project was that you'd give it a QR code and it would look into a database, pull some info, and then display it in a nice, pleasant format. For this year, as Ben said earlier, we did a whiteboard automated art machine. That was a really cool project. Both me and Vic worked on the server side of it, and it was a really nice experience.
Do more. Don't sit at home. Go out, join a team, join one of the card teams, make your own projects, code for fun, anything to get new experience and build up your resume before you actually start applying for jobs and co-ops.
Some advice for first years would definitely be that you should have your own unique experience here at Mac. Don't try and replicate someone else's experiences. You'll see that there's so many different extracurriculars and different societies on things that you can get involved with throughout your whole degree. You'll find what you're passionate about and what you want to do here. So just find what makes you happy and what excites you as an engineer, and I'm sure that you'll have a great time here at McMaster.
Sleep while you can, because I'm in second year right now. I know it's not 4th year, 5th year, whatever, but sleep is quite hard to get nowadays.
I think the biggest piece of advice that I could give first years is that if you're struggling with a course or if you're struggling with a workload, don't be afraid to ask for help, be it from your friends, be it through the resources that we have on campus. Really reaching out is a sign of understanding kind of where you're at, and is the first step to kind of figuring out where you're going.
So yeah, general advice for first years, I guess getting involved in engineering, regardless of where you're at, is the experience is what you make it. So what you put in is what you're going to get out. Another thing too is also just keep an open mind, try new things, get outside your comfort zone, and you might make some new friends you never thought you'd ever make before.